Hola, 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 guys. Welcome to yet another YouTube session. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So, guys, let's get it on. Let's get it on. So, today we're gonna be doing yet another Sunday market breakdown. So, I hope you guys enjoy. So, obviously, today we'll be looking at 5 pairs, including DXY. So, that's what we'll be looking at. So, guys, without wasting any time, let's get down to business. All right. So, this is DXY for me. So, on DXY, I'll go to the weekly time frame. Excuse me. DXY, I'm going to go to the weekly time frame, and then now on this weekly time frame, you know what we're looking for, right? You're looking for those areas of significance, right? Those areas of importance. So now what's happening here on DXY, what I can see simply is that, okay, we had a break of here, and then now price is simply moving in an upwards trend, right? So seeing that this price broke out of here, now price is moving in an upwards trend, right? So you can see how price is moving here. So this is my last low, and then this will be my last high here. So I'll just quickly drop down to the daily to see what's happening. Okay, so all right, so as this was my significant zone, I want to understand how did price get there, right? So as I can see, price got there very correctively. From here we had that impulse, and then price went down there very correctively, right? So we can see that price is there correctively, and then now we have the chance that this could be that scooping nature, right? We could be having that scooping arcing nature kind of a formation, right? And this could also be completing this bigger move, right? So we'll see how it will play out. So let's get it on. So going to the forward time frame, what can we see here on the forward time frame, right? Let's see what we can see on the forward time frame. Just gonna adjust my trend lines. Just put this here, it's fine. That will be the 90. That is where price is currently at right now. Okay. All right, so now let me zoom in. Okay. So this being my 90, where price is, let me just highlight that area. There we go. So now there are two things that could happen here. Price could either give me this reversal from here, or it could go all the way to the upside, right? So now let me just go to the 1 hour to understand how did price approach this area, or how is price approaching this area. So this is what's happening on the 1 hour, guys. What we can see, we have this price breaking out, impulse correction, continuation, right? Impulse correction, continuation. And then now from here we have this impulse, and then now we can see that now this price is starting to slow down. So now I'm just gonna quickly try to understand this squeeze that is happening here, right? So what I would like to see here on this price, guys, what I would like to see here, if I quickly go to the 15, what I would like to see here on this price to confirm the sell, because I can see how price got here, right? This is how my price got here in my area. Let me just zoom out the 1 hour. Guys, this thing is not rocket science, man. It's not rocket science. Okay, there we go. So now that's my area, right? So now I want to understand how did price get there, right? So what I can see is that price is going to my area in the form of yes, it's going in the form of a corrective manner, right? So I want to understand if it's in the form of a corrective manner, will I get that push and that flag, right? That is what I'm waiting for, right? If I get that push and that flag, then I will enter this trade, right? But then if I don't get that push, then what are the probabilities that price can continue to trickle up from here, right? As we can see, our price is going, it can continue to trickle all the way to the to the upside here, right? So we want to see, if we're going to take this sell position, we want to see this push and that impulse to the downside, right? So now that is that with DXY, right? So now we have two scenarios here. So here on DXY. So this is where then now we wait for our gameplay. This would be the yellow, and this would be the ideal, which would be the green. This will be the ideal, which will be the green. So this is what I would like to see. But then this being my yellow, I would still take it if it comes, because you can see price just went up, no structure at all, and then all the way to the 90, right? And then from here, this is where then now we can expect this push, correction, and then drop. Okay. So now let's go to another pair, which is USDJPY. It's almost the same play here. I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking at USDJPY already as it is, because USDJPY and DXY, obviously, you know, they do almost the same thing. So what we can see here is that now we're approaching this 1, 2, 3, and then we have this top here, right? We have this top here, or this area of inflation, right? So we want to see what will happen when price get here, right? We want to see what will happen, and price does not really have to get here. Okay, if I can just quickly go to the 4-hour time frame so that you guys can see what's happening. Okay, so this is what price was doing. So price was going up, down, right? You can see impulse correction, but here price just started to give you, or to give us, that slow momentum movement, right? Where that slow momentum movement, then we had this 1, 2, 3, and then from there we had this impulse, and then now we have this correction, right? And then now what the targets that we'll be looking at, right, is these lows right here, right? So now for us to verify if those targets, we just have to check if this impulse from here, it suits or it will fit down there, right? So we can just use the bus pattern. We can just use the bus pattern on the last impulse, and then to check, right? So what we can see here is that price could go like this, could give us something like this right here. We could still have something like this, down, up, and then price starts to flash down, right? So now what we have to wait for now, since we have this third touch, if I quickly go to the 1 hour, if I quickly go to the 1 hour, I have this 1, 2, 3. Now I'm waiting for the third touch. The price is not really there at the third touch, right? We are not looking for perfection after all. We want to see what will happen. So what we like to see is for price to break here, come back, and give us that kind of a play to go to the downside, something like this, okay? Or if that doesn't happen, then if price decides to push from here, then obviously we want to see that first flag, and then we'll take it to the downside, all right? So it's just a matter of being patient when the market opens. The market, like I said last week, they are shaping up really nice. So now let's move on to another pair, which is USDCAD. This is also looking really nice, guys. It's also looking really nice. So here on USDCAD, if I can just go to the daily time frame. Okay, so this is the structure that I have here on the daily time frame. If I can remove this. Okay, so this is what I have on the daily time frame, right? I have this price moving here, just squeezing, nothing much. There's no progression here. We did break the downtrend, but there's no progression, right? So now when I zoom into the structure now, right, when I zoom into the structure, we had this impulse, and then now we have this double top kind of a formation, and then we broke back into structure, right? And then from the double top, this is the impulse that is coming from the double top, right? This is the impulse that is coming from the double top. This is the impulse that is coming from the double top. And obviously, after an impulse, what happens? A correction. So we have this impulse, correction, impulse. So this is our impulse, and this is our correction, and this is our impulse, right? So now what we're waiting for is this next move to go to the downside, right? So simply now, by just doing that, as we can see, we go to the 4 hour. quickly go to the 4-hour, and then the 4-hour will show us now the structure that I have drawn here. But this one is already, this one looks nice. This one looks nice, guys. This one looks nice for market opening. So let's just see how it plays out. Okay, so this was happening on the 4-hour. Let's see, I've already drawn. Okay, so we can see this squeeze up here. We have this double top kind of a formation. We have this squeeze up here. So now what can happen here is that since we have the squeeze, we just want to wait and see what will happen, right? We just want to wait. If this price is going to this yellow, if this price will break back and give us this correction, then we'll take it happily, right? And then also if this price comes up here to give us the third touch, we'll still be waiting for this nice sells, right? We'll still be waiting for this nice sells to the downside. So depending on what price does, we'll be waiting for it. Remember, guys, we can only predict and wait, right? We can only predict and wait. So now what we can see here, this is the 1 hour. It's looking beautiful. What we can see here is that price started squeezing up there. Then now what we want to see here is that will this price now break and give us this correction, right? If it does so, we get this impulsive break, we get this correction, then that will be awesome, right? So we can see another possibility if it comes here, and then now that will be even better, right? So now let's move into the next pair. We got CAD here with us. Okay, guys, CAD is also looking nice. Let's quickly do CAD. Okay, I don't want to do much here. Okay, right, so now this is CAD, right? So overall we are coming from the double top here on the bigger time frame. We reacted on the double top, right? And then now we pass through the double top. Let me zoom in. Let me just remove everything. Then from there we had this as our double top, as our top, because we had this price going down. Then we'll be expecting the same thing to happen when price gets here again, which is exactly what happens. And then price went down. So this area now is the area of value. So now coming down here, we have this area here, and then we have this area here. Okay, so now I could just go to the daily and just go to the daily. So now what we can see here on the daily, right, I have this area and I have this area. So what I can see here on the daily now is that price was moving impulse, and then here we had this correction, right? We can clearly see that here we have this as a correction, we have this impulse, and then price just started correcting here. Okay, so if this impulse, we have this correction, and then we have this impulse now, and then price is given us this correction now. Okay, price has given us this correction. So what I'll be looking for now for this price is for this price to kind of like give me that push to the upside before it goes down, right? So let's just go to the smaller time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour. Okay, so here we are on the 4-hour time frame, guys. So let's just adjust here and there. Let's just adjust here and there. Okay, this looks now like this. It's forcing things there. It's more like this. Let's adjust. There we go. There we go. Then we have this area here. So now, from what we can see here, right, guys, it's not just a matter of drawing things that don't exist, right? I've seen people trying to force, and then you'll find someone having drawn something like this, right? And then they're forcing it, and then they say it's a falcon. It's not a falcon pattern. So what I can see now here, okay, so we're from this impulse now, and then we have this nice bear flag, right? So now we are waiting for price to see if price can get to our third touch there, or if price can break back, correct, and go. Simple play. That is all. Okay, that is all. So now the next pair, I also have AUDCAD. I have AUDCAD. This is a nice one. Okay, this looks like a nice one, right? Sorry, let's go AUDCAD. Okay, so clearly guys, here on AUDCAD we can clearly see that we have momentum to go to the downside, right? We still have momentum, and we still have some space to fill, right? Or a gap to fill. So okay, there we go. This is AUDCAD. Let's see how it played out. This is the daily. Let's go to the 4-hour. Quickly. Right, we turned around this area. So this area is the reason, or the reason for this double top. Okay, remember guys, it doesn't have to get here to be a double top. So this is the overall double top that we have. So now it's also about how did price get there, right? It's also about how did price get there. So what we can see here now, we have nice beautiful 1 2 3. Okay, we have this nice and beautiful 1 2 3, and then from there on this 1 2 3, inside this, some can argue that this could come back to be a head and shoulder. It is possible that price could give us this head and shoulder. It is possible for that. We cannot rule anything out, right? But from what we are seeing and from what we have seen through backtesting is that if price is coming from this 1 2 3 formation and then it impulses down like this, then now what we'll just be waiting for is for price to give us this correction and continue the trend, right? After all, this looks like a first flag. So if I go to the 1 hour real quick, there we go. Okay, guys, this looks because here we have this head and shoulder formation, right? Then there's the neck. This looks don't look for perfection, don't wait for perfection, guys. So this is what we have. We have this sort of a reversal in the sort of inverse head and shoulder. Let me just check something. Let me quickly check something here, what we can get. Okay, because this one will be a very good trade. Okay, so from what I'm seeing here, guys, this price for me, it looks more like it has broken out of this pattern. So now it's time for price to continue. It's time for price to continue. So you just set your entry there, take profit 9% there. And then that's it. We let it play. Okay. All right. The last one, we have German 30. We have German 30. We had a nice move from last week. Somewhere here, we had this nice sell, and then also this. Okay. So now also here is still the same thing. We are from this breaking this structure. And then now what we can see is that this price can give us this sort of a move here, right? if price can just give us this sort of a move here, and then we could just scale in our position. Okay, we could just scale in our position and we continue with it. We could just scale in our position and continue with it. There's nothing much here. We'll just wait for this correction to complete, and then we could just scale in our position and continue with the market to the downside, right? Okay, so that's it, guys. That's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys make the most out of the market. If you have any questions, you know where to find us. Instagram, that is Not Capital. On YouTube, that is at Not Capital. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers, guys.